Hi, I'm Phil Berman from Balanced Catamarans. I'm in the Grand Mont, France at a boat show on a Balance 442. I wanted to talk here a little bit today about the hybrid solution that we've chosen for Balanced Catamarans moving forward. In a previous video, I talked a little bit about what makes a catamaran green and some of the pros and cons and trade-offs between all-electric systems, hybrid propulsion systems, and just basically a discussion of what does it really mean to have a green sailboat. One of the things that is really important to us at Balance is that we're a company that strives to innovate, constantly innovate. As many people know that are familiar with our company history, we invented the 90-degree pivoting VersaHelm system back in 2014, and it's now been copied by many people. And we're actually happy that that's the case because we're sort of an open source kind of company. We're really interested in seeing sailing become more innovative, easier, just in general to improve the quality of people's life on the water. And so to harken back a little bit further, in about 2016, one of our customers was a senior executive at Parker Hannifin Engineering, which is a big firm in Ohio, a large international engineering firm. And they specialized in looking at energy solutions of all kinds. And it was this customer that brought to my attention the technology behind the Integrel alternators, which we now use on our boats. And what he had explained to me, and what I've tried to explain before, is that when you're talking about having a hybrid or an electric catamaran or generating power in a catamaran with lithium batteries, you want as much as possible to use a 48-volt system, but that diesel as an energy carrier is 22 times denser than a lithium battery. Therefore, the challenges of making an all-electric boat are quite difficult for cruising. Unless you can come back to the dock, plug in every day, solar technology isn't quite enough to allow you to run far or long on pure electric. Lithium batteries can, but you would end up having to lather your whole boat with lithium batteries, which would defeat the purpose, because ultimately, if you want to remain green, you need to be able to continue to sail, and you want to sail in light air. So you're always in this battle between weight and efficiency. Therefore, we came to conclude that for a voyaging catamaran, the best option for people that want to have both an electric form of propulsion and a diesel form of propulsion, that getting a hybrid system is the way to go. We got involved with Integrel through this association with Parker Hannifin, and then through that discussion, one of our customers that was building a boat was at the time a senior computer and electronic scientist at Amazon, and he was buying one of our boats, and he fell in love with the technology of the Integrel alternators. And he said, I absolutely want these on my boat, and I'm happy to be the guinea pig for this project. Me personally, because I've been in the marine industry for most of my life, I'm always scared about new technology, because what you worry about when you're selling boats and building boats is sending people off and finding that the technology doesn't work and they can be unhappy. But to have a computer scientist getting it, working closely with Integrel, it was just a match made in heaven for us. And so we were, in many ways, innovation partners with Integrel throughout this process. So what I'd like to do here today is introduce you to Trevor Howard, who's the Chief Executive Officer of Integrel, and he's going to tell us all about the new hybrid system that we're going to be using on Balanced Catamarans, which is called the Integrel E Drive. It's a really spectacular product because it not only allows the catamaran to operate under electric power, but when the boat is operating under diesel power, it's generating double the charge of the current Integrels, which already charge at an amazingly high rate. And so in our opinion, it's the most practical and the greenest solution possible for a Balanced Catamaran owner. And we'll be bringing those out in our boats in the not too distant future. And in fact, one of our customers is working right now to install them. So without further ado, Trevor, tell us about the E Drive and how this came about. How did you?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we, as you know, we've been working with you guys now for 5 years.
Yeah.
We developed the Integral system purely to remove the generator from the boat,
Yeah.
to make it green. Why put another diesel engine on when you've already got to where you're not using them? Ultimately, we knew that that was a single product and we'd have to develop the product range over a period of time. 3 years ago, we started looking at the options in terms of generating more power, because the more power you put onto these boats, the more power people want, because they want all the nice things on the boats and they want comfortable living. But we knew that there would have to be a hybrid type solution that we would take to market. So we invested very heavily. Our shareholders invested significantly into looking at R&D. We put the next generation E Drive product into the Dame Award in 2022 and won the category.
Many people, probably in the general public, don't know what the Dame Award is.
Okay, the Dame Award is the Met's trade show in Amsterdam every year.
Marine Industry Trade Show, which happens in Amsterdam every year. And this is where all of us in the marine industry walk around and get together and see this product, that product. Yeah, it's a big event. Yeah.
It is, yeah. And they have an innovation, technology innovation prize for a number of categories every year. Yeah. The original and integral system won in 2018, won the overall award. And then in 2022, we won the category award for the E Drive product.
Yeah.
The E Drive in its simplest form, whereas the integral system is bolt driven, the E Drive is shaft driven, sits between the engine and the gearbox. So you remove the bell housing from the engine. We have a number of flanges depending on the type of engine that you're using. It sits between the engine and the gearbox, generates 15 kilowatts of power per engine, and then when you move to electric drive mode, will drive at 20 horsepower. So all the time that your diesel engine is running, it will be generating and putting that power into the 48-volt battery bank. When you then want to move into a marina or turn your diesel engine off and want to use electric, or in fact, if you want to sail along and add a little bit of power to when you're sailing, so you can motor sail with the electric drive as well. It's a seamless transition from diesel drive to electric drive.
Right.
And the boat builder only has to increase the engine bed by 150 mil to be able to slot it in. So from a production point of view, it's a really simple installation.
Yeah.
At 48 volts, so there's no change in terms of the electrics on the boat. You can use the same electric pack that you're using now. In terms of battery sizes, you're probably going to need a bigger battery bank, because not only are you powering everything on the boat, but you're then needing that extra power to be able to drive the boat. But it's a really simple installation for a boat builder.
Yeah, we've already expanded the bay for our boats. And it's important for us because we prefer to have sail drives and our engines back in dedicated engine rooms, watertight engine rooms, as opposed to having them under the bunks with a shaft.
Yeah.
So that benefits us quite a bit. I think to put it in simple terms for a consumer, so when the electric motor is running, it's just draining from the batteries.
It's taking the power from the batteries.
It's not generating. The only electrical gain you'll be getting will be from your solar panels.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
When the diesel engine is running, is it not similar to the current integrals, where if you want to generate power, you turn it on, but you don't have to have it. You don't have to be charging.
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
No.
So once your batteries are topped off, obviously it stops
automatically stops charging.
But it's really the customer's choice as to whether or not they want to charge.
It is, but in our experience, it would be advisable to have the batteries charged fully, because you never know when you're going to need that power.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. You always want to charge them fully. I 100% agree. So on our 48, I found with the 45 horsepower engine that if we had a family on the boat and everybody's playing the stereos and cooking and using all the electrical equipment, blah, 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 and we only had 1,600 watts of solar on our boat, typically I would need to run one engine with the Integral at 1,500 RPMs for about 30, 45 minutes, and I could bring my batteries up to 95% before we went to sleep.
Yep, absolutely.
When at 1500 RPM or so, my charge was about 6.5 to 7 kilowatts.
Yeah.
Now at 1500 RPM, what kind of charge are we going to
Per
get?
engine, you're going to get between 13.5 and 14.5 kilowatts.
That's like insane.
Yeah.
So basically, these batteries will charge so fast,
Yeah.
and so to me, this sounds like a greener solution, because basically the diesel that we're carrying is working as efficiently as it possibly can.
Yeah, I mean the engine is working because we always, as we do with the current integral system, we're pitching it to the most fuel efficient point of the engine. We do exactly the same with the E Drive.
Yeah.
But it's even greener than that, in as much that if you're coming into a beautiful marina like this, why would you want to come in under diesel?
Right.
You can then just switch automatically and come straight into these places under electric power. It's
Right.
not really designed to be cruising electrically hour after hour after hour. That's
Right.
not what it's designed to do. It's designed to work in short, sharp moments, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. You can
Right.
run it for 2 or 3 hours for sure.
Yeah.
But that's not its primary reason. It's to get you in and out of the places that you otherwise can't go, or to
Right.
come into marinas.
Right. Yeah, I mean, as I had talked about in a previous video, I mean, the issue with, say, serial hybrid systems is that you either have to have 2 diesel generators running, constantly charging your battery banks
Yep.
to push those electric motors. So it's difficult to escape diesel
Yeah.
if you're wanting to motor very far or very fast
Yep.
with current technology.
Yep.
Okay, and I say this always, with the caveat, with current technology. Solar panels are not efficient enough yet to, on their own, even if you put 4,000 watts of solar, it's not going to be enough to be able to
Sure.
run a boat hard and fast with just a pure electric engine. And the lithium batteries are not yet to the point where they have the energy carrying capacity of a
Sure.
gallon of diesel, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I like the simplicity of it. It's just a perfect. It's like a round.
It's pretty elegant.
It's a round
Yeah.
hub that just fits on.
Absolutely.
And but what's incredible is this doubling of charging capacity.
Yep. And it's still at 48 volts, and it's still air cooled. So there's no connecting water cooling to the engine. It's
Correct.
a simple water cooled.
Yeah.
Air cooled.
Air cooled. Yeah.
And we are going over the next 12 months, we will be adding regeneration to that. So anybody that has a system installed in the early months will be able to upgrade that to regeneration. That's not as simple as people think it is in terms of regeneration. We've got to make sure that we get it right.
Yeah.
But regeneration is in the product roadmap and will be available in 2025.
Yeah, when it comes to the subject of regeneration, prop regeneration, I mean, I think that it seems to make more sense to me on larger, very powerful, our larger catamarans, like
Yeah.
our 52, our 75, our 58, because if you're cruising along in a catamaran like that at 12 or 14 knots and you want to regenerate, well, okay, what does it matter if I'm going 1 knot slower?
No, absolutely.
Right. Okay, but from a percentage standpoint, when you get into a smaller catamaran like this, I don't know if you use this expression in the UK, the juice isn't worth the squeeze.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
So
yeah.
you've got this regenerating system, but you're slowing your boat down
Yeah.
considerably to gain an electrical charge while you're sailing.
Yeah.
So a little bit of speed loss is acceptable, but when you consider how fast these things charge,
Absolutely.
it doesn't take very.
No.
The amount of juice coming from running that integral
Yep.
for 30 minutes versus the juice. How long is it going to take you with a regen sailing at 8 or 9 knots? I would say it probably take a long time. They're probably kicking out what 3 kW. I mean, how much will they kick out?
It depends. I mean,
It'll
there's
depend.
so many different,
So many different-
options. But I mean, from our point of view, it's important that we have that as an option, because if customers want to do that and see
Yes,
regen as important,
absolutely.
it can be part of the package for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, no, for sure. No, I agree. And so in terms of the actual motoring capacity, so basically you're looking at and It's obviously dependent upon the sea state, right, and the speed that you want to go, and the headwinds, and that's one of the problems that I've always had with, and the challenges I know that you face in being honest with people when
Yeah.
they're asking, "What's the range?" Right, and it's a little bit like the polars that we run for our boats through the computer system to determine how fast the boat's going to go.
Yeah.
The computer is okay seeing a perfectly flat sea state
Yeah.
with a world champion sailor with perfectly trimmed sails and a perfectly clean bottom and a boat that is laden in any number of different ways.
Yeah.
But I would say that it looks like under just electric alone, you're looking at. I mean, I think you did some statistics for us.
Yeah, it depends on the size of the battery bank, of course, because that
Yes,
will
of
be
course.
that will be the deciding factor.
Right.
But on a 35 or 40 kilowatt hour battery bank, you're probably looking at 1.5 to 2 hours
Yeah. Okay.
of runtime.
Of runtime.
But again, it's not designed to be running day in, day out
Right,
under electric power.
right,
It's not designed to do
But
that.
but think about it though. So let's say you're in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, or you're in Port Andrax in Mallorca, and your batteries are topped off, and you want to go out for a picnic or a day sail, or you're going out just for a day sail. Well, you can go out on your electrics,
Absolutely.
sail all day, and come back and never turn on your
Absolutely.
diesel engine.
Yep, absolutely.
So, and that's where the pure electric, application works. Like if people say, "Oh, well, I want a all electric boat," I say, "Okay, well, fine. If it's like your Tesla and you get to pull it in your garage every night and plug it in, well, that's just fine."
Yeah.
So you do have the ability. So from a day sailing standpoint, you can be in a pure electric mode
All the time. Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
But when you're bringing a balanced catamaran up from South Africa to Grenada over 6,000 miles, and
Yeah.
you encounter the doldrums, and it's just a shiny sea, but you've got a long way to get through that.
Yeah.
Then you're going to have to resort to the diesel,
Of course.
to
Yeah.
diesel power. Yeah.
But you can swap in and out, can't you? Because
Yeah.
when you're using the diesel power, you're topping the battery bank back up.
That's right.
Then you can switch the diesel engines off and sail
Right.
for a while, or motor for a while under electric.
Correct.
And then revert. So you're not always having to use the diesel all of the time.
Correct.
You
Yeah.
can swap in and out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the things that we're doing now is we're trying to get as much solar on these boats as possible. What I really love about solar is it's so simple, right? It's just they're there, they're
it's
just
there,
coming in.
and you don't even know
Yeah.
that it's topping the batteries
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Oh well, we're really, really excited about working with you guys.
As we are, Phil.
So you just were in South Africa, just last week?
Yes.
Yeah.
Went to the yards. I saw Roger at Nexus with the boat with the extended engine bed,
Bay,
ready to
ready
take
to
the
go.
new.
What I want to say, really, and to your credit, is, as the owner of the brand, and being in the industry for a long time, I've seen all kinds of product failures and all kinds of innovation failures, and the last thing you want to do is guinea pig on a customer.
Absolutely.
And you worry a lot about that, and I worry a lot, oftentimes too, just about the complexity of some of these things, and a customer ends up in the South Pacific and they're having a problem, with something that's just really, from a product reliability standpoint, I think the integrals that we're using now have been reliable. I think we've worked together to
Yes,
really refine
absolutely.
the brackets in the system.
It wasn't perfect to start, for sure.
It wasn't perfect to
Nope.
start. We had some conniptions, if you will.
Yep.
But we all worked together. And one of the big things for us is that when you're in the boat building business, if you look around these boats, a great many of the things that we install are made by other people.
Yeah.
And in the end, whether it's the Harkin winches or the Vitrifigure refrigerators or the whale pumps or the Raymarine electronics or the B&G electronics, whatever, when there's problems with these products, it's critical that the suppliers stand behind the product and
Yep.
stand behind us, because although we don't build those products, if those products fail, our customers are unhappy.
Of course.
And you have proven to be stand-up in terms of support and service and partnership, and that's super important to us, and a big reason why I think we've decided that we really wanted to work with you. But I will say that for really almost 2 years, and in fact, this very boat that we're on here, we had set this aside on the yard floor to be our test boat for whatever electric propulsion hybrid solution we came up with.
Sure.
But we couldn't, we said, we can't make up our mind. We're waiting for Integral. We're waiting for Integral. Because we kept thinking that we don't want to jump in with a company that we're not sure is going to stand behind us. And we want to make sure that what we do is a product that we can work with and innovate, over time.
Yeah.
So I have to say it's been a great partnership, and it's awesome.
Thank you, Phil. Very much appreciated.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.